morning. How's everybody doing? Everybody make it here okay? Anybody take BART this morning? Some of us, sadly. Yeah, hopefully didn't leave too early because that would have not worked out for you. So, welcome to Reactathon. This actually, who was here last year and who's first year today? First year? Awesome. So last year wasn't actually a conference. It was just like a large meetup. So first conference. This is awesome. Some things to note outside. If you're looking for bathrooms, closest bathrooms is outside the door to the left. It's going to be single stalls. I believe there might be bigger bathrooms somewhere else, but I'm not sure where they are. In the case of a fire, so stairs straight ahead or stairs right around the corner. There'll be another pair of stairs. So don't take the elevator if there's a fire. They don't work usually. Cool. So I'm here to talk about Reactathon. We have a lot of stuff coming up. It's actually going to be an amazing event. It's a 3-day event. If you guys are here for the rest of the week, that's awesome. We're going to have a lot of talks, a lot of content around React. Want to take some time to thank some of these sponsors. All these companies are representing this conference. These companies are not only just hiring React developers, they're using React at their companies. So definitely reach out. If you're looking for sponsors and talking to them, getting stickers, right at this door to the right, there's going to be where the coffee is. You'll see all the sponsor tables. That's also where lunch will be provided today as well. So if you're really hungry around 12 o'clock, definitely check that out. Today's lineup is going to cover a number of things. So we've got Jay Phelps. He's going to cover JSX. Anybody use JSX? Actually, how many React developers are there in the room? How many people are interested in React and just came here? Sorry, how many people are not doing React? Okay. All right, so everybody who's using React in production, raise your hand. All right, so if you're interested in React, look at those hands. Those are the experts. Everybody using React. This is what's awesome about this conference is if you're interested in React, this community here are all experts, not just the people on the stage. So feel free to talk, ask questions about what people are doing in React, because there's a lot of awesome stuff that we're going to be sharing today. So not only just JSX, we're going to have a talk about React Native later this afternoon. In addition to that, we're going to have a talk around CSS and React, which has all been, everybody's figured it out. So we're going to have the talk, like the pinnacle talk about how CSS works, which is awesome. On top of that, we're going to have data management. So not just Redux, but also GraphQL is going to be mentioned this afternoon. How many GraphQL fans? Any users? Awesome. So GraphQL is going to be mentioned. And I already talked about React Native, but that slide's there twice and more. So I'm going to take a couple minutes before I invite Ben to come up and talk about the reasons for React's creation. I didn't introduce myself on purpose because I wanted to say it here. I'm Brian Douglas. I'm your MC for today. I'll handle all the transitions. If you guys have any questions about the event or need to find out where the stairs are in case of a fire, I'll be downstairs. So meet me there and I'll tell you. All right. Everything you need to know about me is actually on my Twitter, so that's my Twitter handle. Feel free to @mention me if I'm doing a good job. And if I'm doing a great job, I'm Ben Olequidu. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so you might know me from some talks that I've had in the past about Kanye West. If you haven't, strap on. So Kanye West, I'm a big fan of Kanye West, and I feel like there's a lot of parallels between Kanye West and React, so bear with me. But Kanye West, he's known, you guys familiar with Kanye West? Okay, Kanye West he's pretty popular. He's a fashion mogul. So he's really big in the fashion, like a lot of what he does within the fashion industry, like people follow and do. What's cool about Kanye West is that he combines comfort and style and into a style that you actually can't afford. But anyway, that's besides the fact. If you're questioning what he's wearing, yes, that is velvet. So he's wearing a velvet hoodie. So he's taken like two of the best things that you would want as far as clothing, and he's put them available for you. The other cool thing about it is Kanye West is all about you doing you. So yes, he is wearing combat boots and sweatpants. That's a thing that he does. It's okay. But he's integrating what you need into your style. Let's talk about React. React itself is built on this whole architecture of components. And I think very similar to Kanye West, it provides what you need to build your UI architectures, and it does it really well. So a couple years ago, there's a big mantra about React and being the V and MVC. It really handles rendering your views very well, and then everything else you get to decide on your own, which is why we have a whole community of React developers talking. So React, not only is it composable with components, you have extensibility, you have maintainability, which makes it nice when you have transitions of your code base. It also has JavaScript ability too as well, which is great because personally, when I started using React 3 years ago, I wasn't very good at JavaScript, but as I learned more and more React, I was actually getting better as a JavaScript developer. The transition between ES5 and now ES6 and ES 2015 and 2016 and beyond has made it very helpful for me to transition while I was following that transition within React. So what you really get out of React is that true composability. And I learned this firsthand when I was actually a developer at one of our sponsors within Netlify, who just released their brand new UI for their .com page, as well as a number of other features. And what was cool about this is that every single part of Netlify.com, when I was working on it, is actually composable into components. So we could actually extend and maintain existing components. And if we have a UI change, we can update that pretty easily through our CSS architecture. But we also can reuse the same components. So with Netlify, within the dashboard, everything's a component, everything's a card component, and we basically add and remove things based on what we need. And I found that really nice because it took two different things that I really appreciated, which was comfort and swagger or style. And that's exactly what Kanye West does. You take your HTML and you take your JavaScript and you combine it, and as long as you know HTML, as long as you know JavaScript, you can eventually learn JSX, which we're gonna have a talk about that in a bit. But the cool thing about JSX is it's like orthopedic HTML. It actually gives you a really big boost in productivity because when all your stuff, I used to work on a couple different other JavaScript frameworks, and they had the idea of actually building your own templates, which caused a bit of confusion when there was a transition from new front-end developers or designers working in my code. I found that was the opposite with React, where I got to the point where I was actually teaching my designer how to do React components and build their components and put those in the storybook. So it really did give me a boost in productivity because it also helped me not have to write CSS because my designer was working on CSS at the time, and I was able to focus on the more complicated problems like Redux. So the cool thing about this is React, they did something really well. They really focus on rendering the views, and then they let the community decide on those opinions. So though Kanye West has one major opinion, which is Beyonce, React actually, they're very opinionated about how rendering views are, but they also give you choice. So if you don't want JSX and you want the HTML, there's an option for you. React also leaves room for innovation too. So very similar to Kanye West, all the rappers that came from him are now creating the new scene that's coming out of Chicago and all the rap game. So whether or not you're a fan of Lil Yachty, I'm not a big fan, but if you're not a fan, he has a path into rap, just like all you guys have a path into React development and front-end UI development. So again, we're gonna cover those topics around JSX. We're gonna talk about mobile development and React Native, as well as CSS and React, which I'm very excited and looking forward to that talk. And a couple other talks as well. So I'm very happy that you're all here to share with this information. Definitely reach out, ask questions to everybody around you. If you guys have answers about some of the approaches, or if you have questions about the approaches, the speakers will be around, as well as all these experts in the room. If you want to tweet, definitely use the hashtag Reactathon on Twitter. You could also @mention Reactathon. It's the same Twitter account. And this is Reactathon 2018. So I'm going to invite Ben up to get prepared. Thank you.